The Tur in Siman Tafresh Chafei asks the well-known question on the Yom Tov of Sukkot, and that is, wrong season. Why commemorate the Ananei HaKavod, the clouds of glory, in Chodesh Tishrei, in the month of Tishrei? That's not when the Ananei HaKavod came to the Jewish people. The Ananei HaKavod accompanied us from the time we left Mitzrayim, which of course was Chodesh Nisan. So really we should be sitting in Sukkot, Pesach time, when we left Egypt, not in the month of Tishrei. And the Tur famously answers that if we were to sit in Sukkot in the month of Nisan, in the springtime, when the weather is nice, it would not be recognizable that we're sitting in the Sukkah to commemorate the miracle of the clouds of glory. Instead, it would seem like we're going outside to enjoy the pleasant weather. Therefore, we wait till Tishrei, the beginning of the rainy season, when typically people go indoors, and we go outdoors to make it recognizable that we're commemorating the clouds of glory. The question, though, is, who does it need to be recognizable to? Persume Nisa? Is there an element of disseminating and spreading the miracle when it comes to Sukkot? We don't find such an idea that we need to publicize the miracle. We're sitting in Sukkot to commemorate for ourselves, and of course, when we sit, we commemorate. So of what consequence is it that it's not recognizable to others? The one sitting in the sukkah knows exactly why they're sitting in the sukkah. Is there some type of persume nisa when it comes to the mitzvah of sukkah? Another interesting and unique phenomenon that we encounter by the mitzvah of sukkah, it's a halacha that does not apply by any other mitzvah, and that is mitzta'er pater min hasukkah, someone in distress, someone who is not comfortable in the environment of the sukkah. They're too cold, it's raining, they're exempt from the mitzvah of sukkah. We don't find this by any other mitzvah. We don't find, if somebody is not comfortable wrapping the tefillin around their arm, then they're exempt from wearing the tefillin. Why specifically, when it comes to the mitzvah of sukkah, is mitzta'er pater from the sukkah? Herein, says the Chida, in Parshas Bahar, in the Sefer Rosh David, lies the secret of the mitzvah of sukkah, and really the fundamental principle of the entire Torah. The Chida conveys an epic message. Says the Chida, Haloi zeh hadavar. This is the matter. Ki kvar noida, it is well known. Ashar pinas yikras yisoid musad la'adas Yisrael. Mi Mitzrayim v'yad. It is the fundamental principle of the Torah. From the time we left Egypt until now, Heyois Yisrael v'nei kelchai, that the Jewish people are the beloved children of Hashem. V'chavivim Yisrael shenikru banim, and the Jewish people are beloved, that we are called Hashem's children. This is the centerpiece principle of the entire Torah, that we are the beloved children of Hashem. And therefore, immediately when we left Egypt, Hashem hovered upon us and led us with these clouds that illuminated for us, that led the way. Hashem directed us with His loving arm, His loving care, to demonstrate to the whole world this great principle, that while the rest of the world are His creations, we are His children. This was the demonstration of the Ananei HaKavod. And therefore, says the Chida, when we sit in the sukkah, indeed we are trying to be mafarseim, a principle. We are trying to disseminate and publicize the centerpiece principle of the whole Torah, namely that we are banim la'makayim. This perhaps would explain why the Tur sets out that halachically we cannot sit in the sukkah when the weather is good, because then this principle would not be conveyed to the whole world, that the Jewish people are going outside to commemorate the clouds of glory, to disseminate the Yesoid Musad, the great principle that we are Banam La'makim. And therefore the Chida says that this is the reason why the mitzvah of sukkah, mitzta'er, is pater, someone in distress is exempt. Because since this mitzvah is demonstrating Hashem's love for us, Hashem's care for us, His concern for us as His children, therefore, specifically by this mitzvah, Hashem says, if it bothers you, if it distresses you, if you're not comfortable, you're exempt, because the whole purpose of the mitzvah is to demonstrate that we are banim la'makayim. And therefore, the Shach al HaTorah writes, one of the students of the Ari, that only the Jewish people may sit in the sukkah. You see, when it comes to other mitzvahs, any of the nations of the world are allowed to perform the mitzvah, Not so the mitzvah of Sukkah. The mitzvah of Sukkah, the Shach says, are only for the children of Israel, only for Klal Yisrael. Why? Why don't we allow the nations of the world to participate in the mitzvah of Sukkah? The answer is because the purpose of the mitzvah is to demonstrate the exclusivity of the Jewish people, that Chavivin Yisrael Shenikru Banim Lamakam, that the Jewish people are beloved, that we are called the children of Hashem. That is a great source of joy, and therefore Sukkot is Zman Simchasenu. What could be a more joyous reason to celebrate than that we are the children of the Almighty HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Wishing everyone Chag Sameach, Mayadim L'Simcha, Chag Kasher V'Sameach.